I don't know what you want me to say. Um, the s- Maybe not the single most heartbreaking game because like I've had a lot of experiences as a Saints fan with heartbreak. Um, a lot of them, and this was just this is the worst game that I've seen in terms of just the talent and coaching that I've seen from the Saints. Now, I got lucky and I grew up on Drew Brees. Um, I mean, I was like 5, 6 years old when Drew signed with the Saints. So when I became a Saints fan, I mean, I got to watch Drew Brees for most of his career. So, along with some of the worst defenses that I've ever seen and the offenses haven't ever looked that bad. And I mean, I didn't even think the offense it's crazy because I I don't even think the offense and defense played all that bad. Um, this was the single worst coached game I've ever seen of the Saints. Ever. Um, I mean, I question Kellen Moore every single day. I've questioned ever since he got hired. I didn't want to hire Kellen Moore. But right now, there's people clamoring for Dennis Allen back. That's how sad it was this Sunday. So, I mean, I'll get into the game. There's not much to. It was a blowout. Uh, Saints turned the ball over on downs on the Seattle 45-yard line. Sam Darnold was scrambling around and just heaving passes completed like he was Fran Tarkenton out there. Um, he ended up throwing a 12-yard touchdown to Jackson Smith and Jigba. Um, Pre-snap penalties. They just continued over and over and over. This was the worst game when I came to penalties and discipline. Um, it was horrendous. I was getting aggravated. I'm like, oh, another penalty, another penalty, another penalty. I mean, at one point there was three consecutive plays with the penalty. Um, Seahawks punt. So Saints had the punt. Um, Torrey Horton, the Seahawks returner, returned the punt 95 yards for a touchdown. It was just awful punt coverage. Just awful. It's a terrible start on offense, defense, and special teams. Because the offense couldn't move the ball, defense was allowing everything, and special teams just couldn't cover anyone. Seahawks could do whatever they wanted at this point in the game. Penalties on top of penalties on everyone. Yeah, like I said, three consecutive plays with a penalty. It's just unreal. Um, Saints punter Kai Kroger, he had a punt that was blocked by D'Anthony Bell and recovered at the New Orleans 11-yard line. The whole week for the NFL, that whole Sunday for the NFL in terms of special teams was one of the craziest special teams weeks I've ever seen. Um, and I was like, all right, the only thing we're missing right now is like a field goal return for a touchdown. That was the only thing we didn't miss this week in the NFL. But yeah, blocked punt return. Uh, Seahawks got the ball at the 11-yard line. Um, yeah, I'd never seen a worse start to a game as a Saints fan. Nothing was working. Penalties every other play. Five penalties already with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker ended up running in a 3-yard touchdown. Going into the second quarter, Blake Krupe kicked a 27-yard field goal, so at least we wouldn't get shut out. At least we didn't get shut out. I know who's watching, and at least we didn't get shut out by the Carolina Panthers. That's all. The kickoff got returned 60 yards in the New Orleans territory. Again, just terrible coverage on special teams. Sam Darnold ended up throwing a 14-yard touchdown to Torrey Horton. Torrey Horton was playing like he's Steve Largent out here. Um, Kenneth Walker ended up running in a 1-yard touchdown. Blake Grupe's 52-yard field goal is wide right. Field goal unit. down 27. This made me laugh. We put the field goal unit down 27 to 3 out there with 3 minutes left in the first half. You got to be the dumbest head coach I've ever seen to do that stuff. I mean, you're down 24. You go for it. You somehow score a touchdown. You get a 2-point conversion. Then it's 27-11. It's a two possession game. But instead you kick a field goal. You try to kick a field goal and it's wide right. I mean, how incompetent could you be as a coach? I mean, I was seeing, and I'm not the only one who feels this way. There are beat writers whose job is to cover the Saints, who they get paid to cover the Saints, and they were all saying the exact same thing. I'm one. I mean, I'm from the I I I'm from the Philadelphia area. Like I'm about an hour away from Philly. Like I feel strongly about the teams here, and so does the rest of this fan base. So how I feel about my sports teams, I want us to win, and I will do anything to make sure we win. But if we're a bunch of losers, I'm gonna let you know we're a bunch of losers. And when it comes to this coaching staff, the single worst coaching performance I've ever seen from the Saints. The single worst one. And I got to watch Dennis Allen do all that crap the last couple years. Um, Incompetent. Um, just another penalty. Um, and yeah, at this point in the game, I'd rather have Dennis Allen. Um, Seahawks kicker Jason Myers kicked the 56-yard field goal. Blake Grupe ended up kicking a 23-yard field goal. Seahawks led 38-6 at halftime. 8 penalties in the first half. It's just incredibly embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I mean, you couldn't do anything. You're down, and I'm trying to look at it from a logical standpoint. You're down 4 possessions right now. If you went for it, scored a touchdown, and got the two, you could be down 3 possessions. The Eagles just came back from that this week. Like, it's not a terrible deficit, but you gave up down 27 to 3. Do you think the Patriots should have gave up down 28 to 3 in the third quarter of the Super Bowl? No. I don't care who you're playing and when you're playing them. Why are you doing that? This is embarrassing, man. Um, Third quarter, Jason Myers had a 51-yard field goal blocked by Justin Reed, but there was an offsides, and his 46-yard field goal ended up being good. Justin Reed, I mean, I give props to him. I mean, he's just trying to make a play. It was very clearly offsides, but at least he's trying. There are some players who wouldn't be trying in this game. I'm sure they weren't. But he was just trying to. I respect that. I at least respect it. Um, Jason Myers went and kicked another field goal, 37-yard field goal, heading into the fourth quarter, down 44-6. Um, Saints, the fourth quarter, Saints quarterback Spencer Rattler threw a 13-yard touchdown to tight end Jack Stoll. I wish I bet money on this game because going into this game, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of Eagles players doing pretty well this week. Carson Wentz, Isaiah Rodgers. I was like, Josh Sweat, and I'm like, Jack Stoll's probably going to score a touchdown. Literally said that before this game started. I should have just bet money on it. I mean, that's Jack Stoll's first ever touchdown of his career. Um, so yeah, that happened. Drew Lock ended up coming in the game in the fourth quarter for the Seahawks. Spencer Rattler. I mean, at this point, Rattler's just trying to do anything right now. So he ended up throwing his first turnover of the game. He threw an or of the season, threw an interception to Seahawks cornerback Darion Kendrick at the Seattle 25-yard line. He's playing hero ball late in the game, and it's his first interception in the season, so I don't blame him at all. The game's already over at this point. Quincy Riley ended up forcing a fumble on Seahawks running back George Halani, and Pete Warner ended up recovering the fumble at the New Orleans 34-yard line. They're celebrating, and I'm like, dude, you're down by 31. I mean, yeah, I guess let's be happy. I don't know. I guess it's the small victories. Tyler Shuck ended up coming in the game for Rattler. Didn't do all that much. Ended up throwing two incomplete passes on his first drive. Seahawks ended up winning 44-13. So, um, this is deflating because the first two games the Saints were playing better, a lot better than I thought they would play. Um, and I'm thinking, all right, against the Seahawks, you got a chance. Like, and they got out coached by a coach that's actually viewed as not a great coach. Um, what does that say about Kellen Moore? So, yeah, I mean, I've never been a Kellen Moore fan. When he was in Philadelphia, I just was like, all right, he's okay. He's getting carried by this talented offense. When he was with the Chargers, I'm like, in my opinion, I didn't think he was all that good. Again, carried, I think, by Justin Herbert. And then when he was with the Cowboys, I think they had a very talented team for when he was there. But he also needed a specific style of offense, and like he had to push Ezekiel Elliott, who was still young enough to be a talented running back, to push him to the side so that Tony Pollard could be successful. Um, I've thought Kellen Moore is an okay play caller, but when it comes to being a coach, I don't think he has it in him. Um, I don't know how you have to revamp this whole team if you want this head coach to be a Super Bowl contender. And they didn't make the moves this off season to be that. They were settling with what they had because they want to just get through the season and yeah, I guess waste Kellen Moore. So yeah, Kellen Moore is just not that good of a coach. He doesn't know how to discipline it. I think he's too relaxed on his team, on his teammates. Some of the comments that some players have said about liking Kellen Moore have been in a way that's maybe he's not hard on them enough. And I don't want to be hard on those talented players because there are very talented. There are all pro players on this team. There are all pro players on this team. Let me say that for a third time. There are all pro players on this team. So you need to be better. You need to, as a coach, you need to go with the strengths of this team. I don't think this receiving core is all that talented enough, but you're also putting this receiving core in awful positions. Like right now, Jawan Johnson's the best receiver at tight end, and that's because he's the biggest body for him. I don't think we have a big body at receiver outside of Devon Vele, and Vele hasn't been used, even though you traded so much for Devon Vele. There's a lack of communication with the front office and the coaching staff. I mean, Mickey Loomis has given up. Mickey Loomis will be fired by the end of the season. I can guarantee that. And that sucks because I do like Mickey Loomis does what Howie Roseman does for the Eagles in terms of the way he does contracts. The difference is he didn't get rid of those talented players. Mickey Loomis ended up getting rid of those talented players instead of holding on to them and trying to help them. Um, you live and you learn. I do think Mickey Loomis could Mickey if you told me 5 years from now Mickey Loomis would be a GM of some other team and end up winning them a Super Bowl, wouldn't be shocked at all. Would not. Wouldn't be shocked at all. Um, because that's what he can do. It's just he's given up. After last year, what he's done this offseason, it's like they're mortgaging the future because he knows he's not going to be here next year. And it's just to win now. He's in win now mode because of his job's on the line, and the rest of his team's in win in playing for the future. So, Kamara, I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be shocked if Alvin Kamara, Demario Davis, if they got traded because they to a better team to help them out. Now, if they want to stay, I'd be so happy if they stayed. I want them to stay. I really do. I love them. I love Demario Davis. I love Alvin Kamara. Love Cameron Jordan. I love Zach Wood. All these talented players, and I feel so bad for them because they're ending their towards they're in the second half of their careers and they're dealing with this. I mean, I understand why Tyrann Matthew retired. And it's just deflating. Um, a game like this, and now you got to play the Bills next week. I mean, this was pretty much an auto loss. This was the number one loss I expected it from the Saints. If the Saints somehow beat the Bills, I'm gonna be shocked. Um, I don't really expect all that much. If we hold them to under 30 points, that'll be incredible. If we score more than 20 points against them, I mean, Bills don't have the greatest defense, but we don't have the good offense. So, and it sucks because Rattler was having a good season up to this point. Rattler was having a good season. Jawan Johnson was one of the best. I mean, Jawan Johnson is one of the best tight ends right now in football. It's crazy. Kamara's having a solid season up to this point. Offensive line some issues. I mean, look you look at the numbers. It's pretty clear and obvious looking at some of them that there are a lot of key pieces in this team that look really good. And coaching, you just gotta be a better coach. Um, oh, it's just really it sucks. I mean, I went into the season knowing that this was probably going to happen. I mean, I expected this probably week one. Um, you play the Niners with who have a bunch of injuries, and then you go and play the Seahawks aren't even like a Super Bowl contender at all. You just get blown out by the Seahawks. And of course, their offensive play caller is Clint Kubiak, a guy I wanted as the head coach, and I I think I know why this team got dominated. It was because Clint Kubiak was the offensive coordinator. I'm sure he had a lot of ins and outs on this team. I wanted Clint Kubiak to be the head coach of this team. Um, he might have a chance next year. It sucks. It really does. I just want some more competence. Especially when you have guys that are performing above what they were projected. I mean, that shows that there are some bright spots in this team, a lot brighter than I ever thought. So go with their strengths by this penalties, just penalties on penalties. It's suffocating to this whole team. Oh, this was depressing. It's probably going to get depressing next week. I mean, I went through all the stages of grief in this video. Um, but the Saints are going to play the Bills, like I said. If you want to beat the Bills, you got to contain Josh Allen. You can't let him scramble. That's been an issue for this team. I'm hoping Demario Davis and Pete Warner have a good game because we're going to need them the most. Um, I don't think anyone can really cover Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir. So good luck. But I think we can do a good job against the tight ends. The Bills have very good tight ends. I mean, with Knox, with oh, he's on my fantasy team. Dalton Kincaid. I mean, the linebackers should do really well against the Bills' tight ends and containing Josh Allen. Another issue is stopping James Cook, both out of the backfield and just out on passes. So you got to be able to do that defensively. The Bills have a weakness in their pass defense. This game is really going to come down to can Rattler keep up with the Bills offense, and I don't know. But we'll see how that goes. Until then, you'll see me next week covering the Bills and Saints game. You'll probably see our Bills administrator Jason's video next week as well. His will probably come out before mine. Mine normally gets recorded on Wednesdays, gets posted Thursday or Friday. So his will probably you'll probably see that Monday or Tuesday. But until then, I'll see you then, and go Saints.